thought I'd just take you for a little spin. I had to go to the shop, so I thought get the camera in the car, have a little blast around some of the country lanes around here and show you what the car's like, because yeah, I've only just got the camera, so I haven't been able to do any in-car footage yet, so this is just a bit of a test really, but it'd be nice to bring you along for the ride. It's nice and warmed up now, so we had a blast down here and then just sat with it running for a bit. As with most classics, you have to leave them running for a bit just to get them warmed up. I'll probably be shouting a little bit because it gets a bit loud in here when it's when we're up and running. It's got a custom Maniflow stainless steel exhaust. Yeah, I don't think it's obnoxious though, like a boy racer car. It's a little bit more sporty sounding, in my opinion. I'm just trying to justify it to myself, I think. But yeah, it's, I do enjoy the noise it makes. So you might see me reaching for this I was going to call it a dial, it's not a dial, but this little switch in the middle here, that's the indicator on the Austin A40. So yeah, every time I need to indicate, I'll be reaching across and grabbing at that. So if you wonder what that is, that's what it is. And then inside, a Strali steering wheel. We've got a DAB digital radio in here and a couple of speakers fitted underneath the parcel shelf down here, which is it's nice to have, but to be honest I don't really use it because this isn't like an everyday car. When I'm out in it, I like to kind of experience the sounds that it gives me rather than have the radio on, and to be honest I'd have to crank it up pretty loud to hear it anyway. So this particular one's had an engine build, so it's got an 1100 from a Morris Minor in it. Sounds awesome. It's a bit like a Mini really. It's got a fast road cam in it. So yeah, 1.5 inch SU. It's got a massive K&N filter on it, which you might have picked up if you've watched some of the previous videos of sort of the montage I did of the car. Just enjoying this drive, just watching out because we've got a fair few pedestrians as well on this little track. So a really nice road to drive up, nice sort of country lane, runs between a golf course. But it is quite busy with dog walkers as well, people just trying to, we live in sort of the suburbs, so it's a nice little road to get out and about on. Roads are still pretty gritted up. We're down to -2 tonight, I think. So it's so I'll have to hose off the car when I get back. I tend to try and do that, do the wheel arches, spray them off, and if I can, I'll get underneath and give it a jet off as well, just to try and get as much of the salt off as I can. The arches are pretty much coated quite a lot in wax oil. The underneath has been undersealed in the past, but it could do with doing again, to be honest. It's you see it now starting to flake away. There's quite a bit of rust under there. Nothing serious, just surface rust at the minute, but I need to get underneath, give it a good wire brush, and I've got some Hammerite underbody seal with wax oil, so it'd be nice to get that sorted soon really. I have got some welding work due hopefully in the next couple of weeks actually. So the sill on the driver's side down here by me, it hasn't gone, but the end where it meets the wing, so the wing's really bad, but where it meets the sill it's starting to go a little bit, so it needs a bit of a patch. The inner arch has got a hole in, so that needs patching, and then the outer wing, I've got a new piece here to go on the bottom of the wing. So hopefully that'll be getting done in the next couple of weeks, and then it'll be about trying to find a decent paint shop to paint it up. So Liam, he should have a video up shortly on his wheels, so he's been refurbing his road style wheels. Hopefully that'll be done soon, and then you guys will get to see who Liam is. But Liam is, you know, he's far more advanced than I am in terms of mechanics and also painting. So he used to paint his motorbike bodies and things like that, so I like these little roads. Get the sounds going in the car. I can't be out too long because my wife's waiting at home with the kids. I've got the Yorkshire puddings in the back, so they need them defrosting. I need to have a look at the windows, especially on the side that you guys are clipped onto at the moment. It's quite rattly. So on these cars with the windows, the door handles here, you put the handle down into this position, it unlocks the window, so you can pull the window down here with the glass blocks on them, so it just comes down. But if you pull the handle up, it then locks that, so if someone from outside is trying to get in, you can't get into it, which is quite handy. I'll have to do a bit more of a detailed video on the dash here, but like I said, we've got indicators in the middle. This switch here is to turn the dashboard lights on, so once the lights are engaged, which is this switch down here on this side of the steering wheel, you can turn that on. And the dials down here, so we've got oil temperature, water temperature, and the amps as well, which has been installed aftermarket. But they are Smith's gauges, so they look really nice, and fitted onto this piece of steel, which is kind of oxidised a little bit. I think it looks really good. I'm very much about sort of more of that cafe racer style. The car's not perfect. I don't really want it to be perfect. I want to enjoy it. So yeah, and then up here we've got this switch is for the wipers. They don't self-center, so you have to try and catch it at the right moment. Then when I get back, I have to push them back down perfectly. It's all little quirks. We've got the choke down here. Then we've got the heater controls, temperature of the heater. Pull that out there to bring the heat onto the windscreen to demist. It's lovely. I absolutely love it. It's so simple. I see a lot of people. Oh, and here, this one is one of my personal favourites. So this is the screen wash. So no fancy motors here or anything. It's a good old, give it a good pump like a water pistol, and then eventually it dribbles onto the windscreen. So yeah, right, we better head back because I'm going to get shouted at. It's really nice to be out in the car. It's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it's just a quick try out of the camera really, see what we're working with. I got anybody that's interested. I didn't want to go for a GoPro yet because it's a lot of money. So I went for an Akaso V50 Elite, it's called, and the image stabilisation on it looks similar to probably an older fashioned GoPro, like a 4 or 5 I think, when they started doing image stabilisation. So I thought we'd give that a whirl, see how it goes. I just bought a really cheap suction mount off Amazon, like £8 I think it was. So I've got you stuck to the window, try some different positions as I go along. But yeah, it's just nice to be able to start getting out in the car and bring you guys along and make some content for the channel. I hope you can hear that ruckus it makes. It really is addictive. So the car is lowered as well with aluminium blocks, so blocks that sit in the pans and stuff. So, and on the back on the leaf springs, which does make the handling a lot better. We've got steel wheels on the car, so not the original cross plies. So on here we've got A40 tyres, and they're on Weller wheels. They look great, I think, in the black. And then we've got the matte black sunstrip as well, just to make it look a bit racier. So previous owner to this, Simon, he was actually a touring car driver, and he races the Austin A40s. You may have seen him at Goodwood in some of his cars, and there is one of his current cars going around with the same registration as this car. So when they enter the races, they have to have a registration plate on the car. Doesn't matter if it's correct or not. So it's actually using the reg from this car, which is just quite a nice touch. So he used this car at the Goodwood Revival and members meets, and what he did was he used it to ferry the mechanics and drivers backwards and forwards between the hotels and the event. So it's just a nice little bit of the history there, you know, for the car as well. But yeah, and it came into my care. So Simon had got quite a lot of cars and a large collection of classic cars, and I think he mentioned he had about 4 other A40s. So unfortunately this one had to go, which I'm glad about because he came into my care. So call him Oscar. My lad Archie called him Oscar, so thought we'd go with that.